Mike Craig from Public Safety Dogs Incorporated. You don't see people getting lost in the woods all the time. You know, there's just not that many woods around unless you live in an area that's got a big nature reserve. So we have to be prepared for these kids going missing in the middle of neighborhoods or in the middle of town. You know, shopping centers, because of the number of people in and out of them and the amount of traffic in there through. That's why we routinely work shopping centers. We just worked some last night. So you've just got to get your dog prepared for all that stuff, and you'll see how far you'll advance yourself. And what you have to do is teach the dogs that when you're working in downtown, because of places where, you know, scent is going to stay the most, we actually have watched dogs where when they work a sidewalk, they'll lift their head up till they get to the next crack and put their nose down and check the next crack. And it's just things that the dog is learning on his own and ways to work it. So we get to the corner of a building, and a lot of times that's where we slow the dog up. If he's moving really steady, we slow him up and give him an opportunity to check the directions and see which way he wants to commit to. This is where you have to really, really watch your dog. If he goes down 40 feet and lifts his head up and turns around and looks at you, you might want to think about going back to that corner and trying a different direction. You know, you can try all four corners and see, you know, which direction your dog is going to stay on trail in, instead of, you know, catching blown scent where it's pulled behind a car or a truck. We work downtown so many times and see the dog working right up to a corner just as a tractor trailer comes through, and then you'll see that dog's head whip up and turn, and he'll run right up behind that tractor trailer right up in the middle of the road. So you just have to, you know, that's one of the things you have to watch for. Two is in a big parking lot, if there's grass around the parking lot or, you know, the edge of a building, a curb, you'll see when the dog can't find the scent in the big part of the parking lot, he'll walk to the curb and the edges and see if he can pick it up. If he does, that's great. If not, you just draw an imaginary X in the middle of your mind on that parking lot and work the dog from one corner of that X to the other until he picks that trail up leaving the parking lot. When you get to a corner, you're going to expect that dog just to blow right through there like, you know, it's nobody's business. But you really need to start watching the tail and watch the head. Because if he chooses a direction because the scent's blown, he's not going to go that far before either that tail drops down or his head pops up, and he may even turn around and look at you. The majority of the ones that we train will turn around and look at you like, you know, I had it, but now I don't have it. And that's the point you need to realize that, oh, I've got to go backwards. But you got to make sure you go backwards far enough. Go back to the intersection and, you know, step over to the other side, take another direction, see if you get something. It may take you 5 minutes to work through that intersection, but watching that dog's behavior and you watching the wind and seeing how the traffic's moving, you're going to figure it out, and the dog's going to figure it out, and you're going to move away from that area. I'd rather spend, you know, 5 minutes and be 5 minutes behind the person I'm looking for than to make that first turn and the dog say, hey, I don't have it anymore, and you pack it up and go home, because you really can't say you've done all you can do. Everything that's going on in that intersection, that's the part where your brain comes into play. You know, you've got to say, hey, the dog is telling me this based on his body language, so I need to back up. I need to try a different direction. You know, I can't just quit here because I don't think we're done yet. Downtown is a tough place to work, but once you get that dog focused and he's working and he understands about all that stuff downtown, you're going to see him work a downtown trail like he's in the middle of the woods somewhere, or working on a fresh cut grass golf course. You're going to see the quality of the work improve every single time you take them out.